Today's reading from A Match Made in Heaven is titled, Mother Knows Best. Henry Wadsworth Longfellow wrote, "All things come round to him who will but wait." Boy, do we need patience, more patience in today's society. This is Mother Knows Best. Marilyn cherished her time alone on the plane to read. Having given up her assigned seat to allow some newlyweds to sit together, she hardly looked up when her new seatmate arrived. But when the young woman leaned over and introduced herself as Trish, flashing a friendly smile, Marilyn instantly liked her. She laid her book aside. Upon learning that Trish lived in Hawaii, but frequently traveled to Seattle on business, Marilyn's ears perked up. "My son goes to Seattle on business. The two of you should meet," she suggested. Without any objection, Trish handed her a business card. It wasn't unusual for a family member to play matchmaker for Bill. He was certainly capable of meeting girls himself. He'd had dates with plenty of young women. He simply insisted on waiting for, well, no one could figure out what he was waiting for. Bill was more than a little skeptical when his mother gave him Trish's business card. "The next time you're in Seattle, why don't you see if the two of you can make a rendezvous?" she suggested. "We'll see, Mom," he answered. He stuffed the card in his pocket, having already decided to toss it into the trash. Who wants to meet a girl that your mother met on an airplane? And what kind of girl would give her business card to a stranger? A few days later, as Bill was doing his laundry, he emptied his pockets and tossed the card into a dresser drawer. A couple days after that, when he was feeling a bit lonely, he ran across the card again, pulled it out, and stared at it. He picked up the phone and then put it down again. This was crazy. He promptly tossed the card into the trash, only to retrieve it in a few hours. The next week, Bill received a call about a business meeting in Seattle. Why not? He asked himself. He pulled the card from the drawer again. This time he dialed the woman's number in Hawaii and found her at home. To his surprise, as soon as he began explaining who he was, she remembered his mother. She laughed good-naturedly and said, "I never thought you'd call. Most men, if their mother had given them a card." Bill groaned inwardly. She must think him some kind of an idiot, or worse, a mama's boy. There was nothing to do now but plunge ahead. As it turned out, Trish planned to be in Seattle at the same time as Bill, and she accepted his invitation for dinner. They agreed to meet at a popular restaurant located in the hotel where she was staying. "Tell me what you look like," Bill said. "Like everyone else," she answered. "I'll just leave my name with the maitre d'." Aha, she must be terribly unattractive, Bill mused. But that's okay, he told himself. He'd met plenty of lovely women whose beauty took more than a glance to discover, and he'd met many beauties who, upon further acquaintance, grew less and less attractive. For convenience' sake, Bill reserved a room in the same hotel where he and Trish were to have dinner. He returned from his business meeting about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, leaving him 4 hours to kill before his rendezvous with his mystery lady. Nervous and restless, he decided to get some coffee. As he stepped off the elevator into the hotel lobby, he stopped short. An absolutely gorgeous woman was seated on a nearby sofa. She had long, flowing red hair that framed a porcelain face. Her green eyes danced and sparkled. Her lips looked as though they had been painted by an artist. He drew closer, scanning the immediate area for the lucky guy she was with. He saw no one, and he studied further the woman's face and expression. He felt certain he would like her. In fact, as crazy as it sounded even to him, he felt as if he already knew her. Deciding that he absolutely had to meet this woman, he approached her. "Excuse me, miss," he said. "You look so familiar." "I was just thinking the same thing about you," she replied with a smile. "Would you like to join me in the restaurant for a cappuccino and find out how we know each other?" Even as Bill uttered these words, he was shocked by their boldness. "You're so kind, but I'm waiting for someone," she replied. "It figures," Bill mumbled under his breath. Impulsively, he stuck out his hand. Hello, I'm Bill Chambers from Idaho. The young woman just sat there with a blank look. Then suddenly she broke into a big grin. Bill, she said. Bill, I'm Trish. Trish? He asked perplexed. She smiled. You know, the girl from Hawaii that your mother met on the plane. But what are you doing here? Bill, this is where we're supposed to meet, remember? But you weren't supposed to arrive for another 4 hours. My flight was canceled, so I had to take an earlier flight. Because my room's not ready yet, they asked me to wait here. Bill reissued his invitation for the cappuccino. Trish accepted, and the two spent the next several hours trading stories, smiles, and laughter. Bill's first impressions had been correct. He really liked this woman. Soon, Trish and Bill had launched on a glorious romance that would last forever. It wasn't long before friends and family joined the two for a wedding by a lake under the light of a full moon. As part of the ceremony, Bill sang to his bride, and Trish performed a traditional Hawaiian dance for her groom. Bill's family was thrilled to see him taking marriage vows, but no one was more thrilled than his mother. Yes, her son had been right, that some things are worth waiting for. But she'd been right as well. Sometimes, mother really does know best. This is told by Elizabeth Chambers. What a great story. Match made in the lobby of a hotel.